Hotung, Dangerous Person 2.0, English channel.
Hello everyone. Today I have my special guest here. The special guest is my special man, my husband, Jean Hotung. So you all know I have started a channel called The Dangerous Person 2.0. It's very actually kind of successful, I have to say. We have already got 300,000 subscribers.
Yeah, I think that's success.
Yes, but I'm a little bit ambitious. I'm thinking,
Really?
how can we hit 1 million? And of course, with your special help, I may have a chance because we are going to have English channel, English Dangerous Person 2.0. And I have here Sean to help me with it. Why would you agree to help me?
Well, you know, at the time or in hindsight?
Well, both.
All right. Well, at the time, simply because you asked. So whenever you ask for whatever, that's what happens.
Oh.
Okay? All right. In hindsight? Because you asked. But I would also say that as I look at it more, it's kind of an odd development because I actually am a very private person. I don't like to come online. I don't like people knowing what I'm doing, my business. And I really don't want to know other people's business, you know, unless it's a specific charity or endeavor that I'm interested in. So I like to stay by myself. So, but I was, in a way, obliged to come onto a YouTube station due to a complete separate matter. And that led to, and then I was provoked again, so I came on again. And then that led to your idea of, hey, why don't you do some of your own shows? And then it started kind of becoming fun. So anyway, then I'm doing some family things, and in the midst of this, it was kind of a spur of the moment. You told me to look at a murder case. She said you said you wanted me to do an analysis of a murder case, and I basically chose Brentmore Hills because I was here at the time that happened. I'm familiar with it, but after a lot more further research, I really became very familiar. And as you'll see from the episode on Dangerous Persons 2.0 English, you'll see there are some revelations that I'll bluntly say that is being brought out because of my hard work. All right. So.
Well, for a person that doesn't even have Facebook, Instagram, but he never liked any social media. So actually, long story short is he doesn't even have any social media things. And one step, big leap, you become a YouTuber, having your own Hotung story channel. And we did a little bit for Singapore More and More, remember?
Oh, yes.
When we were in Singapore, because Dangerous Person 2.0 is owned by a Singapore production house.
Yeah, I think that should have been a big hit. We actually had fun doing that. However, the final product, it seemed to be missing a lot of humorous things. And I don't know. I just think I could have done a better job with that.
Yeah, all right. So anyway, he has his Hotung story channel, which is basically talking about the Hotung family legacy. And we're talking about the family life and past history that was never told, you know, the untold hidden little bit, including the 15 cats got slaughtered and skinned. Yeah. Actually, we have
30.
It was 30, wow. Anyway, we have some secret diaries of the Hotung family, which was never published and is only for internal use. So from those stories, we have a little bit, you know, of interesting history we want to share with others. So that was the Hotung Story channel. But actually, the first episode of the Hotung Story channel,
yes,
was because you were there. You reached out there to protect me. Remember?
Yeah, someone was attacking my wife. In Chinese media, and just to make sure I didn't miss anything. She wasn't telling me, and I was actually rushing to get a PhD deadline done. I recall it was around the March 25th to the 27th, because for the first time ever, I told someone on my staff to secretly start to give me all the information that was being said on YouTube and get it fully translated so I missed nothing, as she wasn't telling me anything. So I started to see what was going on. And unfortunately, I'm working on this PhD deadline, which is so anyway, I set the PhD aside. I believe it was due on a Monday. And then on that Friday or Thursday night, I just started working. I locked myself in the room, started working. I did about 41 witness statements. And in essence, looking for, searching for, and finding the lies of.
Well, anyway, we don't want to name
I
that
just did.
piece of thing. So anyway, what happened is actually, I think I would better give a gist of what happened.
Yeah.
What happened was around March 2024, there was some Buddhist believer coming to ask for help because they find that a monk which of very high standing in Hong Kong, who was in charge of the 𝐿𝐿𝐴 temple in Tai Po, his behavior was in question. He was eating meat he was not supposed to because he's from the Chinese Buddhism. And apart from that, other behavior which is really uncalled for.
Wasn't he on the streets looking for hookers?
We don't have absolute proof on it, but the very least that was proven is he discussed with people about going to look for sex workers.
To save their souls?
To negotiate which one is a better price, to find out about the market of the sex traders in Macau. So whatever, it's quite improper. There's a lot of improper behavior. So I was actually quite busy because I promised you that I would not be touching any of these kind of Buddhist corruption.
That's right.
So anyway, I declined. I said, there's nothing to do with me. Please go to the media. So they went to the Singtao group, newspaper group, and got interviewed by this Eastern magazine. So then what happened is after the magazine came out, the interviewers, those complainants, they believe that there are more to say, but for some reasons, the magazine did not cover it. So anyway, I let them come to my YouTube channel. So after they came to my YouTube channel, they exposed, one of the person who exposed the monk was the monk's younger brother. So after that, I became the target because I didn't know that the monk is actually part of a big syndicate. We're talking about charity money. We're talking about $1 billion of government funding, which they already got their hands on.
Yeah.
So I was
false pretenses, from what I understand.
Yeah. So I was actually, how do I say, in the middle of the bullet shooting ground. Okay.
Shooting range.
Yep. So then they have already
Caught in the crossfire.
Yep. So of course, those people that their interest is being jeopardized will find ways to deal with me. So there were a lot of people coming to try to do peace talk with me, offer me a lot of goodies. But the more offer I get, the more suspicious I got. So then what happened is eventually they hire some YouTubers, some people that are having a proven mental illness. They are constant visitors of the mental ward. So they could be exempted to extend liabilities.
I see.
So also bankrupt people, undischarged bankrupt. So if you sue them, you don't get anything. And some contractor or some site worker that was calling himself a whistleblower of some troublemaker person. Okay, the troublemaker person.
Fraudster.
So then but also on the verge of bankruptcy, owe a lot of people money, got into a lot of lawsuit. Eventually, he's not going anywhere good. So gathering all these people and formalize the social attack, media attack. So, but the worst of these attacks, which provoked my husband, is because the guy, well, let's call him scumbag. So scumbag basically used a lot of sexual implication attack on me. Saying that he wanted to have me, I'm using the word have to be more decent, when I was 15. So there's a lot of implication on child sex that was exercised on myself. So I was not there to tell you because any man would be very upset, unhappy about this kind of things, and I didn't know how you would react. So I didn't tell you, but eventually he found out from the staff. So that was what happened. I did a full research on Scumbag, and that was how his first episode came out.
Yeah, so I'll just add 2 points to that. In the midst of this man's sexual perversions, he also made a comment that he wanted to see you on your knees apologizing to him.
Jeez.
So that was, so we'll see who gets on whose knees at the end of the day.
It's very, very indecent. This
Yeah.
scumbag is indecent to a point, and later on we find out that he has been doing this on instructions or not against a lot of other women that were famous in Hong Kong, including 𝐂𝐚𝐮𝐧𝐜𝐡𝐢𝐧𝐠, Regina Eve, you know, all sorts of ladies that has a social standing in Hong Kong. And he loves to attack these people, call for attention, provoke them into reacting.
So then he gets some spotlight himself.
Yeah, that's the reason. So, but anyway, what he got is the reaction from you.
Yeah, so actually, so I have basically worked around the clock for 3 days. That in essence put this, that is the, episode 1 is the result of that. But to my embarrassment, for the first time ever, because I was working around the clock, I actually lost track of the days. And on that Monday, I had a meeting with 2 of my PhD supervisors in England, and I completely missed it. And to the degree that the next day, they started to look for me. I never missed one in the last 2 years. And so that's how engrossed I became in this subject matter. Well,
anyway, so maybe we have a good karma because we've never done anything out of malice or out of greed. So maybe that's a good karma we have. And now we have a channel. You have a channel, and you are really good. I didn't even know that you can talk in front of the camera. You know, when he was asked to give speeches, he really didn't like it. And he wanted to make it as short as he could or try to decline it. And there was one speech I remember, which is the most remembered. It was at the ex-servicemen annual dinner. I think it was 2 years back. He was preparing and preparing. Why me? Why do I have to be on the stage? You know, you are nothing like your father. Your father was really, you know.
He loved it.
He actually, his father went to university to get this public speaking lessons. So anyway, you've done a lot of work, but I remember you only had 3 lines when you get on the stage. Basically, you greeted everybody, and then I can't remember what the second line is.
Okay, I basically greeted everyone. I just said this family has a big tradition in this organization. Sir Robert did A, B, and then I said, that's it. I forgot the rest of my speech.
Well, but
something like that.
Yeah, but overwhelmingly everybody loved that speech because they can get to eat their food and then start their dinner early.
Yeah.
So, but well, that was how he was. So I have already not putting in any hope that you can do any public speaking. But now you become a YouTuber and you can just talk nonstop. And actually that annoys me also. You really can talk back now, you know?
No. I don't know. Did you see me talk back?
You weren't like that. You know the reason why I fell in love with you? Because you don't speak much.
Jeez. Oh.
Yeah.
So that was good because of the silence, or that was good because you could hear your own voice uninterrupted?
Well, anyway, you haven't. Okay, I'm going to tell you the second part of what I'm going to say.
Yes.
And I'm loving you more now because you can say a lot. How about that? How about that?
Really?
You think I'm going to?
I think you're going to regret saying that.
Well,
I'll never shut up.
Okay.
Right?
I take that word back. I take my word back.
Little late.
Well, anyway, thank you for helping me with this English channel. And I hope that we will increase our subscription because of the language of English, which is international.
Yeah. Oh, I just want to go back to my English channel.
Okay.
All right.
So you're still promoting your Hotung story. Okay,
that's right.
fine. All right. Okay.
So there's actually my channel is multi-purpose, multi-layer. You'll see. There's a history lesson regarding the Lady Hughes and opium. There is animals in it, which I'm going to get back to because I know that upsets certain people. So I'll get back to that because those go over very well. And then there's some family things. And I've also used this avenue to ensure that there are not any other members of the family using the name in a bad way, such as attempting to raise funds for a purpose that's not fully accountable. So, yeah, and there's other reasons that I'm doing this. But at the end of the day, it's simply to promote the good things of my family, although I'll use this avenue to put people in check if I have to. Actually, I will do that. Anyway, now we go back to your channel.
All right, thank you. Give me 5. Yay.
Okay.
Okay.